KC1SA here. I will be the first to admit amateur radio always leaves room to learn. It has taken me a while to figure out how to get two instances of JT decoding software to function correctly with two separate radios all from one PC. I'll admit I'm no expert in this area, but this setup worked for me and it may help you when trying to set up JT decoding software with your rig setups. In this video, I'll be showing folks how to run two copies of JTDX with two radios and JTAlert. JTDX is a fork in the development of WSJTX, and in my opinion, it's an easier to use and set up JT decoding software than WSJTX. JTAlert is a sister application that runs with either JTDX or with WSJTX that provides the user a quicker snapshot of decoding. So it's basically easier and quicker to pounce on those calling CQ. In my shack, I have a Kenwood TS-2000 and an Icom IC-7610. And both radios have the capability of operating in the digital FT8 mode. The Icom radio is more or less plug and play, while the Kenwood radio, since it's older, required an external keying and audio interface circuit that I constructed a few years ago. And there are times that I would like to exercise the TS-2000, even though the IC-7610 is my primary radio. Here's a side-by-side comparison of WSJTX versus JTDX. The right-hand side is JTDX and the left-hand side is WSJTX. I personally like the JTDX software better. It seems to be easier, it seems to be quicker, and it's also easier to set up and pounce on CQs. And I'll be showing you the properties for the JTDX that I have set up for my Icom 7610 and my Kenwood. Click on Properties for the shortcut, and there's a small switch that you have to add at the end of the target. And the switch is --rig-name equals, and you can call it anything you want, any name. In my case, I'm calling one TS-2000, and the other one is called the IC-7800. Even though it's a 7610, I'm using the 7800 because I have a different CVI address. Pretty straightforward. Now this is the directory structure for the JTAlert and JTDX stuff, and it's located in your user folder in Windows. And the two names that I called, one was the Icom 7800 and one was the TS-2000, creates new directories. And inside those directories are everything that's associated with JTDX. And that's the ADI file as well as the INI file. And they're unique. And now I'll double click on my JTDX shortcut for the Kenwood TS-2000. Now once the JTDX window is open, it starts populating the decodes, and at this point I can, after it's loaded, I can click on the shortcut which is underneath this window for JTAlert. JTAlert has a very unique interface that allows you to filter, in my case, just on CQs, and you'll see that license plate window populate in a second. There it is, the green windows. And you can just double click on one of those. And you'll see that the software automatically logged the QSO into my Ham Radio Deluxe logbook file. And I'll show you how to set that up. Now I'll show you the setup that you have to do on JTAlert as well as JTDX. So on JTDX, you need to go in first if you want to log your files to Ham Radio Deluxe. Click on the logging and then Ham Radio Deluxe. Make sure you select which version you're using. In my case, I've changed the old version to use SQL instead of Microsoft Access. So I had to make some changes here, but that's beside the scope of this presentation. And then you're going to go down to auto start, and you're basically not going to auto start anything. There are some switches you can put in there like is shown here, but they don't seem to work right. So don't auto start JTDX. And then you're pretty much done with setting up JTAlert. Then you're going to go in and do the JTDX setup. And the JTDX setup, you're going to make sure you have the first general slide or general folder tab set up correctly. Select your radio under the radio tab. Make sure you have all the keying options correct and your audio options correct. And then finally go over to the reporting, and that's basically the logging. You're going to want to make sure that you have that checkbox up there that says auto log, otherwise it won't log to Ham Radio Deluxe. And then make sure you have the UDP URL as well as the port as shown. And then it should work just fine. And I'll open up the other radio just to show you that what the settings are. Again, different radio this time. This time it's the Kenwood. And make sure you have your logging correct. And they should be identical for both radios. And that's pretty much it. Now, one final thing that you're going to have to take care of is, because you're running two copies of JTDX with different INI files and different log files, in order to make sure that your decoding work before addresses and stuff like that on the JTAlert software, you're going to have a unified ADI file. And so I looked online and I found on a QRZ forum that there is an application out there that will take multiple ADI files and merge them into one. So in this case, what you have to do is you have to copy the ADI files that are in my case, my FT7800 and my TS-2000 directories, which are different, and I'm going to merge them together with this application. I'm going to store it into a temporary folder, and then I'm going to copy that merged file back into those two directories associated with JTAlert. So this is the application, and you can download it from the GitHub site. When you launch it, in this case here, there's actually 4 ADI files I was playing with. I'm merging them all together. I click merge. It asks me where I want to put them. I make sure I put it in single line file and not in a robust ADI file format. Saves it over to my, in this case, my download folder. And then I'm going to copy that new merged file, which I called the original ADI file. I'm going to copy that into those two directories. And that's pretty much it. And then now you've got two ADI files that are the same for both radios.